All right. Hello, welcome back. This is part 2. Now we have to focus on the UVs and light maps. All right. Hello, welcome back. This is part 2. Now we have to focus on the UVs and light maps. So we're going to go to Windows, UV Editor. And since we maintain the proportions of the cube, these will work for textures, but they won't really work for light map. So we'll leave this as it is. Select all the UVs, polygon, copy UV set, new UV set name, light map, apply, close. So now when we click on UV sets, we see light maps, so we can switch back and forth. Let's select all of the edges. Let's cut them. Select the UVs, layout. Alright, so now here comes the technical part about light maps. We have to make sure that we break the seam, or cut the seam, wherever there is a hard edge. Since the cube has all hard edges, each shell or each face is going to be its own shell. Now, your UV grid editor or UV editor grid may look a little bit different. That's because I adjusted mine just a little bit. So underneath view and grid, we'll reset this. So this is what everybody else has. This is default. So UE4 has a target light map resolution or default of 64. So what we need to do is just a little bit of math. So if we take 64, oh, I always do that backwards. If we divide our target by 1, or 1 by it, we get this number. So if we copy that, put it into gridline that number, hit apply, we have our pixel grid for a 64-bit resolution light map. So if you know anything about working with a low resolution inside of Photoshop, you know that once you get to a low resolution, your images start looking blurry, colors start becoming skewed and bleed into each other. And the same thing will happen to your light map if you don't stick to the pixel grid. So let's start with this one. Go to move, hold DV, snap, hold V, or X to snap to grid. And we will snap to the grid right there. So then we'll just make sure that this is snapped to grid, that is snapped, that is snapped. Then we'll move each one of these over. I'll leave about 2 pixels wide. That looks pretty good. Huh. Nice. Alright, so let's just quickly finish up this. There we go. Alright, so we have our light map. Now, select this, we see that we have history, don't want it, remove it. However you want to set your pivot is going to be the pivot that you move on the UE4 world grid. So a lot of people like it in the lower left. I also like it in the lower left. Now we got transform histories. So we're going to modify, freeze transforms. Alright, let's just rename this Modular UE4 _geo. Alright. And that's the end of part 2.